That this firefighter is completely unresponsive and he just isn't exhausted. Now remember, our systems are either going to be integrated, pre-attached to a belt or harness, or independent. You do not want to hook into this firefighter and be attached to yourself, even on a lower pitched roof. There's just too great of a chance of you getting pulled off the roof. So what I want to do is I want to remote anchor. In other words, I want to establish an anchor point on the roof ladder that this firefighter is on. We have a couple options here. You could pull off your belt and wrap a rung, or a couple rungs. You could use your 9-foot webbing loop. I actually carry a 5.5-foot webbing loop that I use for drags, fast strapping, but just like any other section of webbing, it has a lot of uses. I'm going to wrap around 2 rungs. Now, one rung, if you guys remember, is rated at 1,000 pounds of compression strength. I always like to capture 2, even though one is plenty strong enough. It's just redundancy. I don't know if you can see this up on this top, but remember, where those roof hooks are, that tie-in piece is not really a rung. It's not as strong as the rung that actually goes through the beams or rails. So always try to avoid wrapping into that roof hook set. Always go below that. Now I'm just going to do a simple basket. I'm going to take the webbing and I'm going to go under both rungs. That creates a nice simple basket, easy basket for me to attach into. Up the lead end of my system, and I'm going to take the carabiner and I'm going to connect into that basket, and then I'm going to lock it off. The other thing I like to do is draw up the slack to get the F-fork and flash hook close to each other. Now the fastest way to get this firefighter off is to simply connect into the SCBA. But remember, if we do that, we have to trust the integrity of the SCBA, which means that all the straps have to be fastened and secured and not compromised. I still see a lot of firefighters on the fire ground that neglect fastening their SCBA waist strap. If that waist strap isn't secure, this isn't going to work. And it's just too grave a chance of pulling the SCBA off the firefighter's body. So what we can do is we can do an SCBA conversion. You can run the SCBA waist strap in between the legs if you want. Don't do that, you at least want to have that SCBA waist strap tight around the victim's waist. And what I mean by tight is if you were conscious, it would be uncomfortably tight, okay? Now, on the Firehawk, on the MSA Firehawk, we have that eyelet at the top of the back plate. That eyelet is rated at 1,000 pounds. It's also reliant on the shoulder straps. So if the shoulder straps are compromised, it doesn't matter what that eyelet's rated at. So what I like to do is also capture the DRD, or the drag rescue device. Now remember, the DRD is not rated, our DRDs are not rated for vertical extraction, but it is a nice backup, an added redundancy in case the SCBA would fail, because that DRD is going to cinch up around the victim's chest and shoulders. So I'm always going to take advantage of it. It only takes a second or 2 to hook into, and then I need to capture the hook. Now, the primary method, the advantage of that is right now, my F4 is auto-locking, okay? I don't have to worry about any slack coming out until I staff it. So it gives me both hands on the victim. I need another carabiner. You can grab that carabiner from your 9-foot webbing loop or that auxiliary carabiner at the terminal end of your VRS. Those are your 2 options to pair it up with the flash. If this SCBA is compromised in any way, shape, or form, remember, we don't want to use it. In that case, we're going to fasten a full-body hasty harness onto the victim using our 9-foot webbing loop. But it's important that you understand that that's going to add another 1.5 to 2 minutes to the extraction, because it's very difficult to fasten a full-body hasty harness on a victim when you're working on a roof ladder, especially at a steep pitch. Okay? So first system hookup. I actually carry a second carabiner on my gear. I'm going to take that carabiner, I'm going to go through the eyelet of the SCBA. Now if you have some of our mutual aid departments have a G1, at G1 SCBAs. They don't have that eyelet, so there's a slightly different way that we would hook into the top of the back plate. I'm going to capture the DRD, and now I'm going to take the flash hook, I'm going to capture the hitching slot, and I'm going to lock off the carabiner. I'm going to take the hook now, and I'm also going to capture a shoulder strap. I do not want this hook flopping around. There's too great of a chance that it could come off the SCBA and get hung up on the gutter lines and make that transition. So I want the full lead end of the system captured and secured. Now, everything's hooked up. I'm going to remove the system from our pocket. That's the advantage of us having the bag I'm going to place it on the roof ladder. That allows me to move around the firefighter, okay? Because we need a second system now to pull this firefighter off the roof. I could grab it from the victim if he or she has one in their pocket, or in their right pants pocket. But the easiest, most efficient way is when your assistance is coming up to your location, you want to rotate the ladder, because we're not going to take them. If we had fire or smoke venting through the hole, we gotta stay away from here. So we're going to go off on this side. If the roof ladder terminates right at the soffit line, we'd rotate the ladder and we'd have it right in line, the extension ladder right in line with the roof ladder. And we're going to take this firefighter off prone or on his or her stomach right down the roof deck. Because they're on their stomach, there's a lot of surface area contact with their body, a lot of resistance. So we need that second system to pull them off the roof and then away from the building. So as two firefighters come up, James came up, he's rotating the ladder into position. Another firefighter is going to come out, and they're going to start to pull out that auxiliary carabiner from the terminal end of their system. That firefighter would start ascending the ladder now, okay? Pass this auxiliary carabiner to me. This is the fastest way to get this firefighter off the roof with the second system. I'm going to come around the ankles, over the boots, above the feet, clip in, lock off, tension it so it's secure, so it's not going to get pulled off. Make sure they got tension so this stays nice and tight right at this point. Now again, we're secure with the auto-locking F4 or escape artist. What I'm going to do is start working my way up, taking this firefighter off the ladder. Because of the auto-locking DCD, there's nothing that I have to worry about. They're secure. I'm in a position. Firefighters are on the ground in position. I give them the go-ahead, start pulling them off the roof. Now, that firefighter at the roof line can stay on the extension ladder or come on the roof ladder. Ideally, staying on the extension ladder works best because there's a chance that a component of this victim's personal protective equipment could get hung up on that gutter or soffit E line. So they're there to assist that, okay? Guide them over the edge. All right, Justin, pull them off. Pull them straight down that center of that roof deck. So he's close to that firefighter on the ladder. Continue to pull them away from the building as I lay them all the way down to the ground. Again, working efficiently, 2 or 3 firefighters can